Hello again. Welcome to the Brown Sugar Company Bakery. Today we're going to do a history lesson, okay? Are you ready? Say yes, Miss Lanos. We are ready. Okay, so do you see this book right here? This is considered the greatest selling cookbook of all times. This book was published for the very first time in 1896. It is 128 years old. This is the 11th edition, which was published in 1965, and this is the edition that I currently have. What was going on in 1896, the year that this book was published? Plessy versus Ferguson. The Supreme Court ruled that segregation was legal. So this is the time that really opened up Jim Crow and allowed segregation to flourish until the civil rights in 1965. So you can guarantee that there were no black people reading this book in 1896. This book was published 31 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. So this wasn't a really long time after slavery, so I'm assuming that a lot of people couldn't read. It was a really great time for a little while of advancement for black people, but for the most part, this is not a cookbook that you're going to see passed down in black families from generation to generation. Now, here's a little bit of information about the lady who published the cookbook that I find also really interesting. Her publisher didn't think that the book would sell well, so they made her pay for her first 3,000 copies, and it took off like wildfire, and it made her very wealthy because she now owned all of the copyright and all of the publishing rights to the book as a result. Back then in 1896, the average family income was $500 to $1,000 per year, and they spent 41% of their income on food. People say that it was so popular because it was like she was teaching you, because she was a teacher at a Boston cooking school. The other interesting thing is I compared her recipes to modern day recipes, right? And the difference is pretty stark. One of the things that she did not do in her recipe book, she did not add in time or temperature. All she did was just give you the recipe, which is totally different than how modern day recipes are now. To wrap this up, it matters so much to me because this is a testament to my ancestors' resilience. The fact that as a black woman, I am actually here with the book that in 1896 my ancestors probably couldn't afford or probably read. It's a testament to their resilience. It's a testament to their strength, their resolve to hold America accountable for the 14th Amendment. All people are equal under the law. So in honor of that triumph, in honor of my ancestors, I'm going to make a gallette, which is a French pastry. It kind of is giving poor people's food, but I mean, whatever. It looks really, they're calling what they call rustic, quote unquote, is it looks like poor people food. But baby, we finna make it work. Watch me do it. Okay, so the recipe calls for 1 cup of flour, a teaspoon of salt,
Big deal here,
tablespoon
honestly.
of sugar, 6 tablespoons of cubed cold butter. And you mix it all together until it turns into a pea-like consistency. I don't know about y'all, but this is my favorite part of any kind of dough. I love putting my hands in the dough. It's very tactile. It's very, very soothing. So anyways, you just keep going. You can do it with a pastry cutter too. I don't have a pastry cutter. You take an egg yolk. You're supposed to mix it with water and lemon juice. I did it separately, but you beat it all together until it forms like a crumbly dough. It's not going to be all beautiful, but you make a little dough, put it in a ball, and then put it in the refrigerator to chill for 30 minutes. Now, these are the fruits that I use. It was dragon fruit, cherries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, and kiwi. This was the dough. After I took it out, I let it sit too long, and it actually was too soft. So this was my first attempt. This is what it looked like. I forgot that I bought salted butter, and I put salted butter all around there. Oh, man, it was salty, okay? So anyways, here's me not knowing that, getting ready to pop it into the oven. Looks so pretty. I'm sorry, the term is, it looks so rustic. Sprinkle some salt, sprinkle. Popped her in the oven, and this is what I got. So yeah, it was crispy. I was confused. I was like, was I supposed to put the fruit in there? I thought, I didn't know what was happening. So I was like, whatever, I'll just try the dough. Tried a piece of the dough, and it was very salty. So, I mean, it was my
Also
first
put too
attempt
much
and it
lemon
wasn't
juice
really
in
that
there.
great. I hate that I had to waste all that fruit. But here is my second attempt. I can tell you right now that this attempt looks so much better than my first attempt. I seasoned the fruit, if you will, with a quarter cup of cane sugar, a tablespoon of flour, some lemon juice, cinnamon, and nutmeg. So it's nice and juicy. I'm really excited to try this. Taste test time! It looks like you can see the dragon fruit and the strawberry on the inside. Has the nice crust. The crust I'm really excited about. I don't know if y'all can y'all see that? Yeah. It's a 10 out of 10. The crust is 10 out of 10. It is fluffy. It's light. It's just really, really, really good. Now, as it relates to the fruit, I would not do strawberry again because it's too soft. I really want to try like a harder fruit, like a stone fruit. And then this was my first time trying dragon fruit. Wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't buy dragon fruit, period. It doesn't have any flavor. It's really good for hydration. Baby, I drink water. So in conclusion, yesterday's was a no-no. Today's, I would highly recommend you try this recipe with maybe a harder fruit, or maybe possibly just make the gallette and then add your fruit in afterwards. That's also a possibility because this the crust that's really the star of the show here. And I love the fact that it's minimal ingredients and it's fruit, so it is relatively healthy as compared to a lot of the other sugar desserts.